Hi, I'm sitting here with my good friends, Ross Mathews and Wellinthon Garcia-Mathews. They are a very handsome couple. Very handsome gay couple.
Sorry, ladies.
Yes, they're both taken. Ross we know from, well, we go way back from Chelsea Lately days. And then Ross Lately.
Yeah.
And then Ross Lately. And Ross you know now from, he's on the Drew Barrymore show. He's on RuPaul's Drag Race. And his husband is a professor. What is your title exactly? You're a professor of education?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, there we go.
He's super smart. He has his doctorate. He, is in schools.
He's got his
teaching,
shit together.
Everything, right?
Absolutely.
Like a real job. And
Wellington
really
has his shit together. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Yes. And you guys were living in LA and then you moved here.
Well, I was living in LA. Right. I met Wellington. And I was on vacation in Puerto Vallarta back in 2020.
On a gay cruise?
I wish.
I mean, I wish too. You were on a gay cruise.
One day, I was landlocked at the time. I was at the Pinnacle, which was a resort in Puerto Vallarta, and I ordered a breakfast burrito at breakfast, and then out walked Wellington, and he was on vacation too, and then we got married.
And so he was your breakfast burrito.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh.
That's why it's Wellington, beef Wellington.
Oh, right.
Oh, my God.
Wow. He did it. It doesn't seem like he did know that, actually.
No, I knew. Anyway, but that's true. I ordered breakfast burrito, and we met, and then I moved to New York, or I came to New York to see him, and then the Drew show happened, and I've been here for 5 years now.
And then, because you guys were holding on to, do you still have your place in Palm Springs?
No, we're full East Coast now.
Okay, you're full East Coast, because this was an unexpected transition for you. You were never going to move to New York.
I had no plans. No, I was Palm Springs. I was Caftan. I was happy hour. I was there, and I was happy. And then, I say you put a saddle on life and just see where it goes. And so that's what I did. Yippee-yi-yay. And that brought me here.
And now you love it.
I do love it.
And you have a house in Westchester?
Yeah, so we're here in the city, but you know me, I've always been like a little, like more Palm Springs in LA. I've always been a little removed. So I like the farmland up there. I love the country. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's like wooded.
It's like you're turning into Martha Stewart, Ross. That's what's
Can I tell you
happening.
something? We live near here. We were just invited to the house. We went to look at the peonies.
Oh, did you? Okay, so
You
yes.
did. Not even a joke. We live near her and we see her.
Well, she's very social. She likes action.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
She is out and about all the time.
Absolutely. You have to be. At that age, listen, if you don't fucking get your shit together and wake up every single day and move around, you're going to fucking fall apart.
You're right.
You have to get more active the older you get.
Are you active?
I prefer day outings, and I like to be home at night. I like
sure.
I like to drink, have cocktails during the day. I don't love to drink at night and then be hungover. You know what I mean? Like I like daytime events, socializing, and then being in bed at a reasonable hour.
Okay, what time do you make a dinner reservation? Like, what is your dinner time?
Well, it depends where I am in the world.
Understood.
If I'm in Spain, then I go out to dinner at 8:00 at night.
At night?
If I'm in LA, I could have dinner. I'll turn it into happy hour. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. We like a 5:45 reservation because then we can like dilly dally at dinner, and we're still home by 7.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
there's still daylight.
Yes, yes. But like I was in Ibiza for a couple nights, and of course I had dinners at 9 p.m.
God, that would give me anxiety all day.
But then
long.
you're on a different schedule, and then you also wake up at 3 in the afternoon because you're out till 5 in the morning. You know what I mean?
True.
It's a whole different.
When you get older, though, like my wake up time is 5:30, and I can go to bed at 9 p.m. or I can go to bed at midnight, and I wake up at 5:30.
Oh,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's aggressive.
Yeah, it is aggressive. So I'm very specific about bedtime and a dinner time, and I don't go outside I don't color outside the lines,
funny.
Chelsea.
It's funny as we get older, like all the things that kind of either cement into habits or don't. Like I went through a phase where I would wake up, like I'm definitely a morning person.
Sure.
And most people would think the opposite is true. They think, oh, she'll be up at night. For a long period of time, I would wake up every morning at 6:00, 6:30 in the morning, wherever I was in the world.
It doesn't surprise me because you achieve a lot, and I think people that do that wake up early.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But now I'm going through this phase, and maybe it's because I'm a little jet lagged and I've been traveling, but now I'm going through this phase where I just, getting up early. Like, I will get up early, but I have to set an alarm. Like, I never have to set an alarm. Like, I just know when it's time to go.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But, like, I crave sleeping in.
Same.
Like, I want to
Same.
sleep in till like 10 or 11. Nothing past that, because then I get a little anxiety.
Right.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. I accept that I have lived my life as an active senior since I was young. This is, you know what I mean? I love a sensible shoe. I walk.
Do you take Boniva?
Not yet, but fingers crossed. And who doesn't love a Werther's? I love a hard candy, a caramel. But I also...
Are you still allowed to have hard candies? I thought older people are not allowed to have hard candies.
Take the dentures out, Chelsea. It's easy.
Oh, well, that's nice for a couple of other things too. Taking the dentures out.
Do you know what that's called?
It's called a blowjob.
Well, do you know what that's called if someone takes a denture out and gives you one?
What?
It's called a velvet rub. I learned that in Palm Springs.
Oh.
Yeah. You like that? It's true. You're welcome.
That's pretty.
It is pretty.
And romantic.
No. But I've never enjoyed. Anyway, the point is this: I love the way I live my life. Isn't that funny? When you get to a certain age, for me, it was like right now, like mid-40s is like I always thought, God, I should be living a different way, and I realized like, no, this is how I live it, and I really love it.
From afar, watching your maturation and like life since I've known you for over 20 years.
Weird.
I think it's great that you've adapted to all of this stuff. You kind of have just gone whichever way the wind blows, and and that's the way you should live life.
Yeah, I don't want to fight it. I don't want to fight the universe. I think you should just sort of pay attention to what opens for you. And if I think if you're present and you make the most of it and you pivot, that life can take you extraordinary ways. I think people are so rigid in what they think they should be doing, or who they think they should be, or someone wants them to be, and that is exhausting to me.
Yeah. How do you see it, Wellington? Like, how do you look at, because I think this is an interesting conversation, especially for our listeners, because so many people are so rigid with their goals, and this is what's going to happen by the time I'm 25, and this is what's going to happen, and then I'm going to be married by the time I'm 30, and then I'm going to have a baby by this time, and da-da-da. And I find all of that rigidity to be very
hostile.
Well, it's also it's narrow. It's narrow-minded.
Yes, and I think you miss out. Well, you talk.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think it's limiting, because then you're ultimately just caught between a little box that you're trying to like check off all the time. And so, I'm all about like just getting rid of all that and just doing what you need to do for yourself and whatever makes you happy, right?
Yeah, I do think it's important to be goal-oriented, but then I just think you will miss stuff if you're not paying attention to everything and open to anything.
Yeah, being open though.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, because plans can change.
Absolutely.
And even goals can change.
Yes, and by the way, you can change, and you can change your mind.
Right. But how do you feel? Well, you guys just wrote this book, first of all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's called Tio and Tio,
It's
right?
so cute. It's which means uncle and uncle.
Right.
In Spanish.
Yes, because you're
Hablo
practicing.
español, sí, he estudiado
muy bien.
para 10 años.
Oh, wow.
Pero no hablo perfectamente.
No.
Pero estoy aprendiendo.
No, muy bien.
Yes.
Tú lo estás diciendo muy bien.
Yo probo todos los días.
Ah,
So
bien.
yeah.
Fill me in.
I mean, I'm just trying. Like, I try really hard to learn the language.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but I get better and better. My issue is, and I like before I take classes all the time, and I go through phases where I'm just constantly immersing myself in Spanish. But my problem, I can understand it, I can read it, I can write it, but I can't speak quickly back and forth.
I love that you're doing this,
The one
though.
thing I could do in English, that's like the easiest thing in the world. It's like, because I'm such a grammarian, I have to say everything perfectly. And as soon as I get into a conversation and it goes too quick, I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
So you can write it because you can delete and perfect and...
No, I can write it because I am looking at the whole scope of things, and I can really take my time.
Yeah.
And
it's
so if I were
phonetic,
talking, I have to speak like yo tengo necesitar hablar despacio. Like I have to speak slowly to get all the words right.
Yeah.
So I can't just like mouth it up.
I think it's so hot that I love that he knows Spanish. When he speaks Spanish, it's
Yeah.
so fast and good,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
like
totally
that too.
lost.
That's where I'm going to get at one point. I'm never giving up, so I'll get there.
Well, I'll be your private tutor.
Thank you. I appreciate
Anytime.
that. Mi maestra de español.
Sí, profesor de español.
I can't even roll my R's. Do you know that?
I believe that.
That's as good as I can do.
So Wellington.
Not hot.
Well, wait.
Totally.
First, I want to talk about the book. Okay. So Tio and Tio. It's two uncles. You
Yes.
wrote it for little children who have two uncles.
Well, it's not even about us. It's about our nephews. It's a true story about our nephews who were our ring bearers at our wedding. And Wellington saw them doing something at our wedding day and told me after. And do you want to tell him?
Yeah, so they were literally so nervous walking down the aisle, like practicing, rehearsing. And I saw my brother-in-law kind of just saying, we have to rehearse, we have to practice. And they were just literally, no lie, just nervous, out of their minds.
Like practicing, like, how do we walk? How do we do it? And the fact that they wanted to take it so seriously and wanted to contribute to the wedding in like a profound way. Like they really wanted to do a good job for us. We just thought that was like kind of a great lesson for kids, that no matter your age or the impact that you're allowed to have as a kid, you matter to your family in a big way. And taking that role seriously, we thought was a great lesson. And Wellington, as an educator, thought there's a lot of meat on this bone in terms of having a conversation with kids about their importance and their value.
And well, not only of their importance and value, but it's also nice that they cared so much about it,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Like that's also a good lesson. To care about something means, or to be nervous about something means that you do care about it.
Exactly. And that it's okay to be nervous and it's okay to take it seriously, and that you can have an important role no matter what age you are or whatever role you play in the family. And it was great to write it. And, he's like a really smart at what he does. And so when we decided to write the children's book, I was like, I know how to write a story. Let's go. And I was missing out on so much. When he would read what we wrote, he's like, you're not there's a lot more conversations you can have in terms of,
well, like as a teacher, as a primary teacher that I used to be, it's important to ensure that we have vocabulary in there, right? So that way our kids are exposed. So the best way to kind of really get kids motivated to actually read is teaching them background knowledge, right? And also bringing up vocabulary. And so in the book, I made sure to use big words so that way the parents can actually have a talking point, or teachers to have an actual talking point. So a lot of things are in there, especially even science terms that I put in there about whales and ballenas. So those kind of things just come alive in the story, especially the illustrations that Tommy Doyle did. They're just phenomenal. Honestly, the colors they just sing.
Are you when he talks about kids? It's right. I don't know how to talk to kids at all. I get anxiety. You know what kids always say to me? Are you a boy or a girl?
Oh my God,
all the time.
So funny.
I know. So I'm always like, hi. Or I try to butch it up for kids. So they're not confused.
Yeah, but you're butching it up is basically like
an angry woman.
Like Doris Day.
Right? No, I turn into B. Arthur.
Praise be.
Wellington, tell me about to circle back to what we were talking about taking life and being open-minded enough when there are changes. Tell me about your relationship with Russ. Did that happen for you? Did that change any of your plans in life? Because you had your career before you met him. You were already living here.
Yes.
So it was very serendipitous that he actually got that show to come here.
Yeah. It worked out. In terms of my life and what's changed, I still, have the same kind of 9-to-5 kind of schedule. I work all year round. So not much has changed. The only thing that has changed is that we've been relocating, in terms of finding that place that we can really call home, and it was important for me to have him really grounded, and to feel like this is his home, because I know how much he's left behind in order to bring himself here.
Wow.
So I wanted to make sure that was just part of the equation. And so he's just phenomenal. As you know, he's genuine, the sweetest person I've ever have encountered in my life. And I'm not lying, he's hysterical. Hilarious. Ross Mathews, there's a reason why. He's always makes me laugh, no matter what, that's our love language, honestly. And I think that's what really keeps us together. And he's so positive. And honestly, I thought that it was all a gimmick, but no, this is him. This is him 100%. And I really do enjoy that.
Wouldn't it be? That's so sweet, baby. Wouldn't it be fun though if I was awful, when it all turned off?
I'm sure some people are though. I'm sure some people are acting nice. I mean, hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. We were nodding because I think we know.
Well, but everyone knows that. There's a big facade that people put on. So it's really nice to know that there is a genuineness, that you can actually be an upbeat person and mean it.
Yeah.
Right. You're not faking it. You know?
Totally. And not a Pollyanna. I don't want to be a Pollyanna. If something sucks, we can say it sucks.
Yeah.
But right away pivot to what can we do to make it better. I've always, it served me well to always sort of vibrate in a place of happiness. It's just always served
it's
me
really
well.
is.
Yeah. And by the way, he does too. And I think it's important to me to be with somebody who is very
handsome.
That's always number one. But good looking. No, but really is fluid in their energy. Does that make sense? Like somebody who's really rigid in who they are and want it their way. And
that's not fun.
It's not for me. It's not, because I like to sort of say how do we feel about this? Let's talk it out and work it out. Oh God, you would hate being with me, Chelsea. You would hate it, I think.
I forgot I wanted to. Yeah,
right?
I don't have the attention span for that.
Do you think if I was straight back in the day that you and I would have hooked up?
I can't even imagine that possibility.
You can't? You've never thought about it late at night?
It's very hard for me to suspend my disbelief in such a way.
Okay. All right.
But I do appreciate having the attitude of not the attitude of gratitude. That is true. Life is better when you're in a better mood. Period.
Oh my God.
As soon as you're in a shitty mood, everything goes wrong.
And you can control that a little bit. You can perspective, a couple breaths. You can decide how you react to things.
It's if you missed your flight. There's two ways to handle that. that. If you fucking want to throw a fit, then you're going to be in that space for a long time. You're going to affect other people in a negative way. You're going to, or you can be like, whoopsie doodle, I missed my flight. Now what?
Let's go to the bar.
Let's go to the bar, or let's go get a book, or let's go have a good day at the airport.
Yeah.
So like there's two ways to handle everything, but it's hard to remember that sometimes.
It is. But I don't know. It's really served me so well, I think, in life.
Yeah, absolutely, as we can see.
Well, thanks.
And so what was your biggest thing that you did? Was there anything when you guys got together that you had to overcome that was like a
that's
problem?
fun.
Trying to think.
What do we fight about? Like, what's our biggest?
Wellington's big penis
Oh.
and your
Oh
tushy?
my God.
Was that a big fight? Was that a fight?
Madam.
I'm sorry, we were talking about a children's book now.
Madam. Do you know the worst thing that I do?
What?
So I have a small chihuahua. Of course, Audrey. She has bold eyebrows. She's named after Audrey Hepburn. And I take her out for poopsies and peepees every day, multiple times through the back door. And I lock it when I leave, when I come back in, because I'm a protector and I want to make sure everyone's safe. And so whenever Welly goes out to the pool, I lock the door. And so he tries to come in, and multiple times a week, he's pounding on the back door to be let in because instinctually I just lock it.
Oh.
That is the most
So
annoying
annoying.
thing that I do.
Yeah. It really is.
That is annoying.
That is annoying.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, it's just us.
Seriously, right.
What is going on?
So can you stop doing that?
I tell myself to stop doing it
And
all
he
the time.
doesn't.
Maybe you can get hypnotized. That's my new answer to everybody who's got problems.
Oh my God, I would get hypnotized.
Oh
I don't want to
my
do it like
God.
on a
There's
cruise.
a hypnotist for everything.
But I would want an independent party watching me get hypnotized. I don't want to be alone in a room with somebody hypnotizing me and then wake up what happened.
Right.
I want
You
it
a
filmed.
third
I want you
party.
to.
I'm sure there's that too. You could probably hire a third party person that watches you get hypnotized so that you don't get like finger blasted while you're getting hypnotized.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? There has to be.
Do you know how long since I've heard the term finger blasted? I want to thank you for bringing it back.
No problem.
Single-handedly.
I know, single-fingeredly. I was with this woman the other night, this German woman who was telling me that she had this adult onset fear of flying, that she's flown all over the world
really?
and she's never had an issue. And she's like, and now I'm scared to death of flying. And I'm like, you have to go get hypnotized. And she's like, hypnotized? What do you mean? I'm like, there's hypnotists all over the world that help you with flying, especially if it's an adult onset thing. Like if it just started,
Yeah.
The sooner it start, like the sooner you nip it in the bud, the sooner you can get rid of it. Is my philosophy.
Sure.
I would think if you all of a sudden have this crazy fear that you can. Anyway, this woman emailed me this morning and she's like, oh my God, I found a hypnotist in Germany. I'm going. It's 3 sessions, 3 separate weeks. I have to go for 3 weeks in a row. And she's like, thank you so much. I had no idea about hypnotists. And I'm like, really? I'm like, are there only hypnotists in Los Angeles?
Apparently, I never heard of
Like,
him.
what about Switzerland? They've got to be up to some shit like that too.
But it's
right?
not the first place I go to think hypnotist. Have you had a hypnotist experience that really worked for you?
for smoking. I mean, now I'll smoke once in a while, but I didn't smoke for 10 years.
And a hypnotist did it.
Yeah, 3 times I
Wow.
went to Dr. Kerry Gaynor in LA.
Okay.
And he was for smoking, but I'm sure he did planes too. You know what I mean?
Can I ask a question? When you're hypnotized, do you feel what's happening? Are you
Yes,
aware of
yeah.
everything as it's going? But
I was.
But you are involuntarily responding to them?
You're in a very relaxed state. So while you're like going, okay, 10, 9, 8, you're going down the stairs, you're going down another set of stairs. They're just getting you to the most relaxed state you're still conscious.
Okay.
Like you're aware of what's going on. You're just trusting the technique. Like you're just like, it's not like he could have fucked me and I wouldn't have known. I was awake, but choosing to go along with it. Like I was like, there's no way this is going to work, but it did. And on the third time is the time where you're done. Like then you quit smoking. Like the first time he tells you about how disgusting smoking is, blah, blah, blah. You're gross. You're polluting your lungs. You might as well be like breathing in carcinogens. You're like, oh my God, I feel like such a dirty whore.
Yeah.
The second time I'm
you're
like,
gross.
And then on the third time he's like, okay, you won't. I'm like, can I hang out with my friends that smoke? Do I have to avoid them? He's like, no. You'll never want to have a cigarette. And for 10 years, I really did it.
Wow.
Now, once in a while, if I'm in Europe and people are smoking, I'll smoke a cigarette here and there.
Europe doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't think you can get cancer in Europe.
I don't think
At
so.
least that's what I keep telling myself.
This is fascinating, Chelsea, that you did. I want to try it. What
But you could do it for all sorts of things. Like if people have I have arachnophobia, or I don't have arachnophobia, I have I'm scared of snakes.
Yes, I don't like
But
them.
I'm not going to a hypnotist about that because it's not like I'm running into snakes all the time.
Exactly. Who are you, Steve Irwin? It's not happening.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually been to Irwin. Okay, so yeah.
Oh, are you? Oh,
I
wow.
am.
Okay, I love them.
I relate most to her.
Understood.
Out of the family, you could go for if you're a picker. You know, you pick
your
your
nails.
skin and your nails, and
Yeah.
you need to get hypnotized for that.
I would do it.
It's all sorts of bad habits, basically.
I wonder if they have a hypnotist specifically for people who lock the door behind their chihuahua. You know what I'm saying?
I think you just need to hide a key for that.
Good
I think
point.
so. I think we need to change the lock.
Oh my
and just
God,
put
Or
like
get a collar,
keypad,
or
yeah.
you could get a collar for Ross to wear, and every
my
time
God.
the door is locked, you zap Ross.
Yes.
Like a
Hot.
chihuahua collar,
Yeah.
so that you don't go out of bounds.
Yes.
That's actually a much quicker way to get to the point, because
Yeah.
I bet you he won't make that mistake more than twice.
Or I'll just keep making it because I like it a little
Oh
bit.
my
Right. Or you
God.
put the collar in a different area,
Don't
and
tell
then
me.
you start
Oh my
to
God.
right. Exactly.
But I would try hypnosis. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think, well, now Ozempic or whatever GLS-5, whenever
Whatever it
anyone's
is.
on,
Yeah.
I take tirzepatide. But now those things kind of cut out all of the bad habits too. So if you have, if you're a sugar addict, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a drug addict, a lot of people take those and then they don't. They don't have, like, I know.
For reals.
When I started taking Ozempic, I completely could not drink vodka. I was so grossed out. And I was like, whoa, I'm not going to stop drinking. Like, I'm going to find a workaround.
Yeah, get this
So then-
medicine out of me.
So then I started drinking gin, Tanqueray gin, and I was like, oh, I can drink this. So I'll drink that.
Really?
Yeah. So it kind of like changes your appetite for things.
Interesting.
But if you're an addict, it can make you really not want anything.
Fascinating.
So
is good.
that's good, you know.
Okay.
I mean, people, that's the biggest problem, I think, is the food, alcohol, drug, sugar addiction, all that shit, right?
Thank God I shared that riveting Chihuahua locked door story that brought us all the way here.
I know.
You know?
I mean, it's a full circle moment.
What a risk I took, and it paid off.
Time to take a Chihuahua break. We'll be right back with Tom. We'll be right back with Tom Brokaw, everybody, and Tom Selleck. Okay. We'll be right back with Tom and his Chihuahua. And we're back. We're back with Wellington and Ross, and who are a happily married couple. How many years have you guys been married now?
I got 3 years now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
But
forgot.
we've been together 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, feels like longer than that.
Right.
It does. It feels like, I mean, it doesn't seem like a short time, 5 years together, but I do feel like life really began when I met Wellington for me. It really,
yeah.
in terms of it all coming together and being myself and
Finding home.
yeah, really finding home. Great way to say it. Really.
I feel that way too, because when I think of you, I always think of Wellington. Like, you're a fixture. You're like a cup. You know, it's not one or the other. You guys come together as a package. And I understand what you're saying when you say life began with him, because I think a lot of people who are in really healthy, grounded relationships do feel like that's when their life began. I remember being young and not thinking my life was going to begin until I was successful. Like, that for me was a marker. I'm like, oh, this is all just practice until I begin my real life.
Totally. And that's not to discount who we were before we met each other. All of that was important. We mattered. We were there. But in terms, I mean, RuPaul told me one time that life begins really when you're 40. And I didn't understand what that meant until I was 40. And I happened to meet Wellington then as well. And it really is about you have made all the mistakes.
Right.
You know? And so you've touched the stove. You know it was hot. You're not going to touch it again.
Right,
You stop
right.
doing this.
Well, most of us do. Some people don't stop doing anything.
Well, I think that's when you become a grown up.
Like locking doors.
Yeah, when you stop doing the shit that hurts you. That's when I think you really become a grown up.
Yeah, I feel like when I turned 50 this year, that was like, okay, I'm a woman, like a full-fledged woman. Like, you can't tell me, not that you could tell me what to do before, but there's a different maturity. There's a different, I'm not responsible for your feelings. I don't overthink things. I'm not overanalyzing anything. You're not going to break me. I'm too strong and fierce. You know?
What is that? What you describe what it's like, but what does it feel like to be in that place, to have that sort of power?
Just feel so strong. Like, I just feel like muy fuerte, you know,
Muy
like
fuerte.
like a tree. Like, I just feel like a real sturdy tree. Like, I can be annoyed, I can be tired, I can get bad news, I can be all of those things, but you're really like, I'm kind of unshakable at this point. And
love
not
this.
kind of, I am unshakable at this point. Like, you're not going to get me. You know what I
Yes,
mean? You're not gonna knock
yes.
me over. Before, I felt like, oh, I could go through phases where I was weak, or I was emotional, or I would be fragile. And it's like, no, I'm not. Even if I'm experiencing one of those things, that is just a little like it's not going to affect me.
No, it doesn't mean it's not a point of weakness or someone could shatter something. It's just you're
Right,
feeling it, but
right,
it's in
right.
strength. I get it. What you're saying.
And I notice it now more than I feel this way when I meet people who are very fragile or seemingly more vulnerable. I'm like, oh, I hope this woman gets to that place where she understands your
worth.
essence and your worth. And your worth. Like, there's enough, you've gotten so far in this life, and it's because of your actions.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think if people are listening to this and they're feeling weak or fragile, like just know that that's not a state that they have to be in forever.
No.
That you will eventually get to a place of strength.
Right. And you also start making like, I like the decisions I make when no one's watching. Like I'm proud of who I am when nobody is looking or watching, that I do the right thing, that I'm morally correct, that I'm actually doing what's best for everyone, that I don't lie, that I don't try to get out of things by lying. Like I'm always up front, and I respect myself because of that.
I know
You know
exactly
what I mean?
It's like when I see a piece of garbage or something and I pick it up and no one's around. I think,
Yes.
God, I'm good. I am so
exactly.
good.
That's right. That's exactly the kind of shit I'm
Your
talking
good
about.
deed of the day.
What?
Your good deed of the day.
Yeah, but it really is. It's those little things matter, even if nobody's looking. In terms of what kind of person you want to be.
I guess maybe in my head I feel like somebody's looking, so I'm maybe because
Well, if somebody is, you're looking.
yeah, I guess I'm the one who's looking. Like I'm always like, oh, okay. Because I'm like, God, when you think about that, I think there's a period of time in your life where you're starting to, you want to be accountable, but you're like, who am I accountable to? And I think the answer is you're accountable to yourself, really.
It's so true. I do that all the time where I tell him something that I'm doing. Because if we're out and we go to dinner, I have a martini, we come home and I have I don't want to hang over tomorrow. So I'll pour I just want like a sparkling water with lemon, but I'll say to him, I'm not having a drink. I'm just having sparkling water with lemon.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Okay, right,
Great.
right.
Do it.
Why are you telling me? I'm
Live
like,
on the edge. Go ahead.
But I was like, I need to say, like, look, I'm doing the right thing. Isn't that annoying?
Well, first of all, you can tell it's not a drink because there's no fucking ice in it, right?
Well, no, I
Or do you
put ice in everything.
Oh, you do?
I don't
See-
like a hot beverage ever.
Oh, no, honey. You don't have to tell me twice.
Thank you.
But when it's cold sparkling water, that's the only thing I don't need ice in. If it's really cold sparkling water, I don't need the ice. Because I find that the ice dilutes the bubbles.
Fine with
you're
it.
right.
Add more. I could be in the
No,
middle
I respect it.
of a blizzard and I'm having an iced Americano.
I don't want. Listen. I just got back from Europe. You don't have to talk to me about ice.
Do you
and
wanna
trying
bring
to get
your own?
more. I want. Yeah, the icebergs are melting, and my big idea is to turn those into fucking ice cubes. Okay, what do we have going on, Catherine?
We have a couple great callers. Our first caller is Joey.
Okay.
He says, Dear Chelsea, I'm listening to your podcast while doing my ketamine therapy dog walk, and I'm wondering if you have any advice for me. I'm a 39-year-old bartender and recovering drug addict, and my partner is a 35-year-old firefighter, paramedic / walking Excel spreadsheet. He doesn't seem to be interested in getting in touch with his quote-unquote feelings, and I've been pushing him to connect and all that to benefit our relationship over the past 6 years. But how do I, an ADHD, emotionally unstable piece of swamp trash, convince him, a successful and literal lifesaver, of the importance of emotional vulnerability and connection? He has literally said, it just sucks that the thing I need to work on, quote unquote, happens to be what makes me so good at my job. Am I crazy? He thinks that being a dismissive avoidant has given him a leg up in his career. I think he's robbing himself in the long run. This man is amazing, and I love him to death. However, I can't seem to gain any traction with the idea that emotions are important. I'm not asking him to cry while he intubates a patient. I just think he could be a better human, partner, medic, and leader if he were able to allow himself to feel with boundaries instead of not at all. I don't know, maybe it's the K. Should I lace his smoothie with LSD? Cheers, Joey.
Hi, Joey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hi,
Ross
Joey.
and Wellington are here today.
Hi,
They're
we
our
can
special
see you.
guests.
Hi.
Oh, no way. Hey, guys.
Hi.
I mean, well, they can speak to being in a couple, but I mean, it's really not your job to get somebody else to figure out what their emotional mindset is or their growth mindset is going to be. Like everyone has to kind of come on to that in their own way. And if they decide to do it, some people never do it. But it's really hard to be told you have to get better with your emotions.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, I think it's great that you have sort of said to your partner, like, hey, this is what I think you'd benefit from this.
Right.
But it's kind of up to him to be who he, or him, or I guess a him, right?
Yeah,
I just
right?
assume,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We don't have any straight men calling into this podcast.
Understood. But it's up to them to be who they are. And like the truth is, you kind of have to like decide that you just love them as is too. If they don't have any growth, you can encourage it, but you can't dictate it.
Yeah, I like work on myself so much, and so when I see someone who's just like, nope, I like me the way I am. If you want someone more emotionally available, go find them. I'm like, really?
Well, there's also this thing with like a spiritual like, I'm not saying you're a spiritual narcissist, but there's like this, there can be people when they're working on themselves, they can kind of have a superiority complex, thinking, oh, look at all this work I'm doing. You're taking ketamine walks with a dog. You're in touch with yourself emotionally. Like, oh, why you need to work on yourself. It's kind of like you don't get to tell somebody else what work they need to do if you're going to be in that relationship with him. You can leave him and then be like, oh yeah, you're not mature enough or spiritual enough or emotionally in touch with yourself enough. But if you're in the relationship and you're choosing to be there and you're doing your work, if anything, you should be focusing on your work, and that's it. And that's going to lead you to a place of either acceptance, or you're going to be like, oh, I reject this relationship. I need somebody who's more in touch with their emotions.
It's almost like just to relate it to something. If you were like renovating your house and you were really proud of your brand new kitchen and you went into somebody else's house and kitchen and told them they needed to renovate it, it's just not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their kitchen and they've got their choice with how to decorate. And so, you know, I think take care of you and decide if you can live with somebody like that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I hear you on that for sure.
Yeah, I like your kitchen, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I can see it.
I've done tons of work on my kitchen.
You don't need to do a
And
single
if you
thing
don't like
more.
it, you can leave.
Yeah, okay, understood.
How long have you been taking ketamine?
Probably like a year,
How frequently do you take it?
maybe twice a month.
Oh, that sounds good.
How has that helped you? I don't know the benefits of it necessarily. Can you tell us?
So for me, like I've always just hated myself a lot, and you get these lenses that you built up, and ketamine just like disassociates you from yourself and all those lenses that you have, like faggot, idiot, stupid, whatever you've got that you see yourself warped, you know. It takes them all away so you can see what other people see, I guess, and it can be really powerful.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
I'm so glad you're able to see what we see. We've known you for 35 seconds, and I don't think any of those words, okay? So just so you know, I'm glad you can see that.
I appreciate it. It has come to that point where I have to either accept this man, which I always have. It just does get frustrating because I'm like, I go to therapy every fucking week and like look for things to fix about me.
Right. But that's you. And also, like,
me.
some people don't run into that roadblock at the time that you want them to run into that roadblock. Like, people only do the work on themselves when they realize something's not working for them. They're not just going to go, like, if everything's going great for him and his boyfriend is saying, oh, you need to go to therapy, that's not enough of a reason unless there's major problems between the two of you. And then he would have a choice about whether or not he wants to go talk about it. But, like, it's really not up to us to tell other people what to do with their emotions.
Yeah.
I think you can suggest once or twice, but then we just have to let people who they are, you know?
It's when it like, you know, pops up, say like intimacy, right, is really hard if you're not willing to be vulnerable. So I crave that intimacy. And that's whenever I kind of end up mentioning something about, God, like I just want you to be here, present, emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah.
And he has a really hard time doing it.
Right.
And he doesn't want to change that because he's an amazing hero.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's also maybe you define vulnerability differently, you know, you can't dictate that for somebody else. So I would just work on maybe just seeing him for who he is and value him for that. Yeah,
no, I do love this person. Good. I just, I knew that I needed some outside perspective. So.
Well, I hope he gave it to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
Bye, Joey.
Bye.
I feel like there often is like one partner who's a little bit more emotional and one who's less emotional. Like my dad is much more emotional than my mom is. I'm more emotional than my husband is.
Well, definitely. Like, there's different levels of emotion, but there's also being in touch with your emotions.
That's
like
true.
Certain people, because that's a total lack of intimacy too. Like before I went to therapy, I didn't have any intimacy with any of my partners. There was no intimacy because I wasn't vulnerable. I was invulnerable. So like those things do go together, but some people go through life like that and that doesn't seem to be a problem. I mean, for them, you know, you have to hit a wall of some sort.
You do. You absolutely do. I mean, well, that's life, right? That's what we were talking about earlier in the show is you making those mistakes, you learning those lessons and becoming who you want to be. Do you feel totally vulnerable now? Are you able to go to that place when you're with somebody?
Yeah, but I could go to that place with somebody that's a non-romantic partner, but I'd have to really be. Yeah, I can go there with anybody, really. Yeah, good. I don't have to be in love with somebody to be like vulnerable or like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also I'm just not that vulnerable. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Like
yes,
nothing.
that's why I'm saying you have to define it for each individual, right?
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want, like, that's, like if I think about my desires about connecting with a man, it's not that level. Like, I don't need to be looking into your eyes and you telling me how much I love you and I say it back.
You're in the
it's
room.
a totally different vibe for me.
Exactly.
Is love.
I think so too.
Yeah. Like,
I don't need to be sobbing in your arms and weeping as we hold each other.
Exactly.
To be intimate.
Yeah, that's a bit
vulnerable.
much for me.
I'm good.
And for most of us, quite frankly. What else we got, Catherine?
Well, our next caller is Heather, and she says, Dear Chelsea, I started doing drag in 2014, a few years after moving to San Francisco from the South. Perpetually a late bloomer, I was 39 when I started, and it took that long for me to realize I could be a drag queen as a cis woman. I quickly joined a weekly show at midnight on a Tuesday at one of San Francisco's oldest gay bars, The Stud, as well as other gigs as I could get them. It was never my full-time job, but it did use a significant amount of my time and creativity. In return, I discovered my sexuality, sense of gender, a great group of friends, a newfound confidence, wild creativity, and a best friend who became my wife, now of over 5 years. When COVID hit, both my wife and I stopped doing drag almost entirely. In 2022, we moved to Portland, Oregon, a place with lots of drag opportunities. Both of us miss what drag brought to our lives, so we sought out some easy opportunities to perform, primarily at a community center, which has a great big audience but is low pressure. But some things changed. The problem I'm finding is that shows now cause me complete overwhelm, exhaustion, and a feeling of burnout since I'm doing just one show every few months. One of the big hurdles is the makeup. You know when you do bat-winged eyeliner every day and it's so easy, and if you stop for a while, it's a hot mess? Imagine that, but a whole face that takes 1 to 2 hours. I also get too involved in helping run the show, which leaves me exhausted rather than invigorated. I love going to group rehearsals and thinking of numbers, then preparing, and during the show, I have anxiety and a sense of dread. Is it time for me to let go of drag entirely? I'm forever grateful for all it's given me. Even the few shows I've done in Portland have led to friendships and community. Meeting people in the dressing room of a drag show is my favorite way to meet people. Love, Heather, a.k.a. Bama Slamma Ding Dong.
Okay, this is over to you.
Yeah. Oh, well, hi.
Ross is our our in-house drag expert.
I've seen a lot of great drag on RuPaul's Drag Race up close. Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hi. Big fans of all of you.
Thank you. I love that you do drag. Drag is for everybody, and it's such a beautiful art form, but it is a lot of work. You know, these queens we have on Drag Race have spent years, some decades perfecting the art, and it still takes them forever to do their makeup and think of the numbers, and so much goes into it. Listen, I know that drag has brought a lot into your life, and you've loved it, you've enjoyed it, but the truth is, it is an extracurricular activity for you, right? Right. And so those are meant to bring you joy. So if it's not bringing you joy right now, I think you have to adjust how you're approaching it. If you're liking the picking the songs, and then that maybe you're helping out at drag shows. You know, there's the people that are so integral to those drag shows and drag brunches who help out in the backstage or carry the tip jar around or help the queens. There's ways you can be involved with the art form if the actual art form itself isn't bringing you the joy you need. What it brought you is still there, whether you're in drag or not.
Right. And I have tried that. I've done stage manager and things like that. At the end of the day, the spotlight is important, you know?
Yeah,
so
okay.
I guess I'm trying to figure out, what is the next step where I can still be involved? I see other drag queens do stand-up comedy or move on to other things, music. All that takes effort too. So it's hard to put into words what drag brings to you. You know, it brings such a power and a different element.
Can you tell us what it brought to you? Like, what did it feel like when you were in that spotlight in drag? Like, what were you drawn to?
It multiplies confidence, you know, so much. And you get to live out every fantasy of, you know, look like Barbie, look like an alien. That kind of extreme creativity I do love. I feel like that it'll be figured out. And I do agree with you. There's plenty to do to support the shows.
Chelsea, you've talked before about like having to take a break from stand-up when it was like not feeling life-giving to you. Can you talk a little bit about that and what brought you back to it?
I just feel like sometimes if you're not feeling something, you shouldn't struggle with it. Like, don't like fight it to the death. Take a break and walk away. And sometimes you get a fresh perspective. Not sometimes, almost every time.
It's almost like writer's block a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe you're having drag block.
Yeah.
Maybe you are. I like that. I mean, that there is truth to that. I think it's always healthy to take a break. If something's not giving you the same vibes that it gave you, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking a break. And it doesn't have to be like you're broken up. It's just like you're taking a break, you know?
Art is work, but it also should bring you joy and pride, And so maybe a little distance would help that.
Yeah.
If you miss it in a few weeks or a few months, you check in with yourself. Do you miss it? Do you want to go back? Do you feel the urge? Do you want to go see a show and not participate in one? Or do you want to be in one? And just check in with yourself. Even write about it. Journal about it at night before you go to bed. Do I miss drag today? No, I don't. What am I feeling today? And just kind of keep an emotional kind of like a record of how you're feeling. And that'll give you all the indicators you kind of need to know. I think a lot of us are just not in the practice of listening to ourselves as well as we should. And if you really are with yourself and you give yourself time to digest something and to think about something and really okay, I have an hour free today. I'm going to think about how I feel about drag. Like that, really dedicate the time that it deserves to be thought about and considered and contemplate it. And then you'll come up with your answer, whether or not you're ready to give it up or you want to go back at it fully or in a different way.
Yeah, I've had a lot of stress in my life over the last year. And one thing I am looking for is that kind of escape and outlet. So
release, right.
What you're talking about, I think it also would give me an opportunity to try other things.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be fun, right? You need a release. You need to have a good time. It should be fun, whatever you choose to do and how you spend that time.
Sure.
All right, Heather, thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you, Heather.
Good luck, Heather.
Thank you.
Is there an art that you wish you were that you could do,
Yeah, of course. Anything. I wish I could do anything. I wish I could sing.
Oh, for sure.
I
I
wish
have
I
a
was
beautiful
Spanish.
voice. Yeah.
I could sing. I wish I could dance. I wish I could be a good dancer.
This one can move like the wind.
I know.
Really
I've seen you dance. I've seen you dance, Wellington.
This summer I was like, I love drawing. I was like, I really want to get good at it. I want to become like an artist, And so I bought like the markers and the pen and the paints and the things, and I'm just terrible.
No, he's
terrible.
not.
I sit in my room and then I crumple it up and I'm like, that is awful, and I throw it away.
What are you doing? What kind of art? What do you mean markers?
I'm like, I want to I saw this woman on TikTok who is so incredible what she can draw, and I said, I messaged her, right, a total stranger. I said, what do you use? She told me the pens, and I said, do you have any advice? Because I would love to draw like you. And she said, just start. So I was like, oh shit. So I went and I got it, and I'm so bad at it, but I look at I thank you, but it's not coming out the way I want to do it,
Yeah,
and
but you gotta get, but that's because you've never done it before, and you're over 40. You got to keep at it.
I guess so, but I have visions in my head, and then the execution is just
but you'll get
awful.
there. You have to. You're not just going to start doing something and be amazing at it.
That's how it should be. That's what I want.
But think about that. You know what I mean? If that
hear
were
you.
life, then we'd all just be doing whatever the fuck we wanted all the time.
I guess
true.
so.
You have to put in the time to get the results.
I guess you're true.
So don't give up on yourself yet.
Okay, but to Heather's point, like it is frustrating. This art that I love, I do find it also very frustrating. But I was relating to Heather when she was talking about drag, and I just think, but if you want to love it, to your point, you got to get in there.
That's how I feel about Spanish. It's so frustrating to me that it's taking me so long to become like fluent. But I love it. I'm not going to quit, and I'm not there yet. And I have to always go. You're learning. Like even when I fuck up or I'm taking a test and I'm like, oh, I got 8 answers wrong out of 20, and fuck. At least I learn. Like you learn something with every mistake.
Okay.
Well, so like we're
gonna make sure we give you the Tio Tio in Spanish because it comes out in Spanish as well. Los
it
pajecitos.
does.
Yes,
Oh,
it
well,
does.
We'll send you a Spanish one.
Oh, no puedo esperarlo.
See,
I was
and
just gonna say
Drew
that.
actually wrote the foreword to it,
did
and so
she?
we translated it for her as well. And I read the audio in Spanish, and he does the English version.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
That's
Tio and
nice.
Tio.
I'll send you a picture too. I'll draw you and send it to you.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
please,
that would
with
be
your
great.
markers.
With your markers.
They're good markers too.
Catherine, do we have a time for another call, or what's our story?
With your markers.
We can take a break, and I have one more
Okay.
question.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. And we're back with Tio and Tio.
Hola.
Remind me to send Ross a new magic marker set for his
Dare you.
for his journey, and I'm going to use markers in my Spanish workbook also.
I'm going to
Oh my
send you
God,
these
that'd be
markers.
great.
They're beautiful markers. They have a
Are
great
they thin
flow.
markers or thick markers?
Yes. It's about how you angle your hand. There's a fine point, and then you
to
get it.
both.
Yes.
Well, our last question comes from Cassidy. This is just an email. She says, Dear Chelsea, I've been with my girlfriend for a year. In gay fashion, we often talk about the future, marriage, and what to burn in case of sudden death. For the last few months, she's told me for her birthday, she wanted to tell her family about me. She has 4 sisters. One I know and is fully supportive, and the second is deeply Catholic and not a factor we care about. The other 2, however, are a different story. She told her youngest first, which was easy. She was curious, supportive, and kind. Then she told the oldest. After a long silence, she asked that their parents not be told since her mom is, quote, a worrier. My girlfriend's plan is to bring me around as her, quote, friend. I declined this option. She deeply needs her older sister's approval for most things in her life, which is my main concern. I am, in other people's words, fiercely independent. Admitting these recent events made me incredibly sad. It was difficult. She swears it's not if, but when. I want to be with her, but how do I feel better about this? The reasoning seems trivial and like it's not her decision, but her sister's. What else will be up to her sister in the future? For context, she's 37 and I'm 32. She's never brought someone home and they weren't aware she's gay. I get it, coming out is hard, but why am I so sad about it? I'm writing this on my couch as she's at dinner with her family, the one she planned on bringing me to as her girlfriend. Am I catastrophizing this? Cassidy.
Yeah, you are catastrophizing it a little bit. Like, I think that you should, just because this happened, you don't have to go to be with her family as a friend. You don't have to do that. Like, I get that. But like, assuming that her sister's going to make every important decision in her life is not true. Like, just because her sister gave her this answer, you didn't like that answer, it's unfair to you, it's not ideal, it doesn't mean that's the way the rest of your life is going to go. This is a very important decision for your girlfriend too, and it's going to weigh on her, I'm sure, at some point, that she has to get her sister's approval for almost everything. And then she's going to start to consider, is she willing to go through life like that? She can't live a lie. So while I would stand your boundaries and not participate and be pretending to be her friend when you're more than that, I get that. I wouldn't do that either. I don't think you have to like throw in the towel and think, oh my God, her sister's going to be the arbiter of our relationship.
I disagree.
You do?
I do. I think, and I just think if my very existence is an issue that you're going to let your sister dictate, then we have a real problem here. It would be a deal breaker. Your sister is going to tell you to tell the world that I'm your friend. I would like to simply exist in your world as your partner, and if that can't happen, then that's you making that decision, not me.
I agree with that as well.
You agree with that too?
Because it's, you have to be authentic. You have to be yourself. And the fact that she's not allowing her to even be part of the picture is problematic.
I don't think it's too much to ask to exist and acknowledge that you exist.
Well, it's hard when it's your own sister that you look up to, kind of saying, like, her sister knows she's gay, so there's not a lie there.
That's true.
Like, she knows she's gay. She's just telling her to mute the thing. So that's where the problem comes in.
Right.
She's not living a lie. She's just not allowed to live out loud, is what we're saying.
And don't you think that is simple human decency
No,
to be able to
absolutely.
live out loud,
No,
right?
I hear what you're saying.
And maybe it's because, we spent a lot of time. When I started on television, it was back in 2001, and there was a lot of fighting for equality and insisting on equality and we matter, and that was important. I no longer have that fight within me. I have, if you don't want to give me equality, God bless. I just
right.
I'm not going to fight you for that right. So the fact that she's now having to fight to be recognized is exhausting to me, and I would tap out of that fight.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I mean, what were you going to say?
Dignity, just having dignity.
Personal dignity. That's right. It's not, I mean, for somebody to put you on mute is not a good feeling.
Yeah. But I also agree with you that, like, sisters probably won't be the one, making all those decisions.
No, but she's letting her make this decision, and this is a big one.
But she's just stand her ground and say, no, I'm coming to the stupid party or whatever it is.
Right.
I think this could be, that's a great point. Yes, Smarty is. This is, rather than being a red flag deal breaker bye bitch, this could be I think this would make you better, me better, your sister better, mom better, and I'm going to fight for it and get to a better place. Yeah, that's good. See why he's better than me?
I do see.
Well, you thought the moment we walked in.
Okay, well, there you go. There you have it. My advice was wrong. I think theirs was right. I am reconsider. No. I think you're right. You guys are right.
I didn't think you were wrong, but I just disagree.
But I felt your neck crane as soon as I started talking. I'm like, what's his problem? And now I know.
Oh God, really? It is a pet peeve of mine. It is. Like
Yeah,
I
it
just,
is.
No, I
I've
get
had
it,
family
though, but
members tell me to tone it down
but you
or
explained
something.
it perfectly, and I think that's beautiful. You actually, I mean, you said it. You're right. Nobody should exist and should be denied, especially now. It's like, come on, this fight has already happened.
Yeah, we already argued this out. It's already been litigated. It's exhausting that people want to take it back.
So anyway, send a copy of this to her sister.
I love you.
Send her a link so her sister can listen to this and realize that she's being inappropriate and she
Yeah.
needs to let her sister live out loud.
And also, mom lives in this world. Even though she's a warrior, she's not. What is she
She'll
in a
be fine.
bunker? She's fine.
She'll be fine. My parents were, very Catholic as well, and they were all fine.
And they're all fine. Everyone
And-
survives.
And then I married the
gayest
Matthews.
human
The
ever.
gayest
I was gonna
person he could find.
And his dad spent the weekend at our house, and we were in the pool. We love each
And we've
other.
never we've actually never had the discussion of we're gay kind of thing. It's just like, this is my husband.
Yeah.
Get used to
Or
it.
maybe he doesn't know.
Or maybe he doesn't know.
Maybe he
was the
thinks
other-
you're a woman. Maybe he thinks you're a woman.
Whatever, it works. I'm fine with it.
Okay, and that's your episode of Dear Chelsea for the week, everybody. Thank you, callers. Thank you, listeners. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Wellington. What a pleasure.
Thank you. We love
I
you.
love you. I love you guys.
The word of the week is grammarian. Noun, a specialist or expert in grammar. Grammarian. Chelsea is known to be something of a grammarian, which is why we do this segment. Grammarian.